All right, so I can do all the typing as well because I've got it pulled up. Um, Discuss what just happened to Dwight and consider the following questions. So this is like from The Office, when he was they made the noise and then he handed him an Altoid.
Yes.
Um, so at the first of the clip, like the beginning, okay, was Dwight aware of the computer restart sound and the offer of the Altoid? Wait, is this like a yes or no question or?
Yeah, I think because I just put like that he was aware of the both of those things. He just didn't understand how they were connected to each other.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. And then by the end of the clip, was Dwight acting voluntarily, and how do you know?
Probably like no, right? Because
I
at that
agree.
point it just became like a reflex. At least that's what like the reading was saying was like at some point it becomes involuntary.
Yeah, like it's been conditioned, so it's becomes involuntary.
Okay, got it. Discuss what is going on in the generalization versus discrimination scenarios, slide 13 and 14, in terms of classical conditioning. Then upload your own individual example of classical conditioning to Canvas. Be sure to do the following. A, identify the unconditioned stimulus and the unconditioned response. Okay, so are we making up our own?
Okay, that's kind of like
I
what I took
believe
from it.
so.
Sorry, what slide did it say those were? I like read through them, but then I
13 and 14. I So the first one was Miguel plays baseball. A pitcher from another team hits him with the ball every time he comes up to the bat. Soon, every time he sees that pitcher, he cringes and shies away from the plate. Then he becomes afraid to go into the batter box uh, anytime a player is on the pitcher's mound. Miguel has generalized his fear of one pitcher to all pitchers. Um, Sorry, that was 14, but then slide
no,
13. Generalization versus discrimination. If every time Lewis went by the student union building on any college campus, sorry, Louise, we would say that her response has become generalized, which is the opposite condition from discrimination. In generalization, the response is obtained by a larger sample than the specific stimulus that has been conditioned.
so we're just talking about like what's going on
Do we
because
make up our own?
basically it was just like the place that they were at got associated with like the pain. Like his was getting hit with the ball and hers was getting sick and throwing up, you know?
Yeah,
So they just started to generalize an entire area.
I'm just confused by the question if we're supposed to make our own or talk about what we read. I think we're supposed to make our own.
Yeah, well, yeah, on the Zoom or sorry, on the PowerPoint,
Yeah.
it says, did you read that? I don't know.
Which page?
It's on 15.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so then upload your, yeah, this is what it's saying.
So is that what the activity for this week is then?
No, I've got a
Oh.
whole other word. Um,
Oh no.
that's why I think we can just plow through these because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
There's something that I guess if we're making up our own, when I was sick one time, hang on, classical conditioning. Okay, but it's not asking. All right. So one time I was sick
Mhm.
and when you're sick, you kind of get kind of hungry because only certain things, work for you. And my dad made me oatmeal to see if I could like get that down. And it basically only made me feel worse. So now I just like every time I eat oatmeal again, it just makes me feel kind of queasy, kind of nauseous. Do you think that's
Mhm.
like a good example?
I
Yeah, I
think
think
so,
that's a
yeah.
perfect example.
Okay. So if that's the case, then identify the unconditioned stimulus and the unconditioned response.
So, like, The unconditioned stimulus, would that just be the oatmeal?
That's what I think.
And then the response is throwing
Like
or
feeling.
being, yes. I feel,
Um,
Because I know, like with the Pavlov example, it
Mhm.
was like the bell and then the salivation. So I feel like that would be it. It would be like the oatmeal and then your visceral reaction. So yeah, I would go with that.
Cool. All right. Gonna take me just a second to type it.
Of course.
response.
So the unconditioned All right, I got that down. And then B, identify the neutral stimulus and tell how it was paired with the unconditioned.
So maybe maybe the unconditioned stimulus is just eating, and because you were sick, the unconditioned response was feeling sick, and then the neutral stimulus is oatmeal, just because that's what you happen to eat, and
Yeah, I
because it's like it all needs to conjunct together through a specific action. So I think it might just be the
the act of
eating.
eating. Okay.
Yeah,
That
because
sounds,
like it wasn't the oatmeal that actually made you feel sick.
you're right. It was just eating something.
Yeah, and that's why it's now a conditioned response, is because it was oatmeal paired with
Yeah.
the unconditioned stimulus.
Okay. That would be the neutral stimulus. It was paired, I can't type today, with the unconditioned. Okay. Describe the resultant conditioned stimulus. So now when I eat oatmeal, I get nauseous.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, 3. Is the teacher training Vinny to not be disruptive, or is Vinny training the teacher to give him attention? Slide 19.
When I went through this one, it
Yes.
definitely looked like he was more conditioning her.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys got that too.
Especially if it increases, the
Right.
bad behavior increases.
Yes.
It doesn't ask us to explain, so I'm just going to answer the question. Vinny is training teacher to.
Yeah, just with what like disruptive behavior. She's like, is she unintentionally
Mm-hmm.
making him act worse by giving him a response?
Exactly. It's the response that he wants.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Evaluate each of the following scenarios. Decide which are illustrations of extrinsic reinforcers and which show intrinsic motivation.
Mm.
A, Frank works hard at his place kicking. Okay.
Oh, his place
Because,
kicking. It's like a soccer thing, I think.
oh, okay, sorry. I
Oh,
did
place
not
kick. Oh,
know.
it's yeah. I was like, I don't know what that is.
That an example of bias?
I think you should say that. No, I'm just kidding, but
Oh, my second to
that's
last semester, I don't want to get kicked out because he wants to kick the ball as high and straight as possible.
Okay, this is the one that I was like the most confused on because I was like, he will get like something in return, but also it's like self-motivated.
Yeah,
I think
I thought it was just intrinsic because
I
he's
think
just
it's
motivating himself.
yeah, because
Okay.
there's not anyone specifically that he says he's trying to impress. It's only
Right.
okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Alicia rewarded herself with a piece of her favorite candy after she reads her scriptures. That is extrinsic.
Extrinsic. Yeah,
She
Oh,
it's
wants the
very
candy.
clearly.
Because even though it's for herself, like she wanted that candy.
yeah.
Right.
Like it wasn't anything that boosted her emotions in any way. It was
No,
just
right.
Okay. Anaya keeps asking her teacher for a new progress report because her mom has promised her $20 if she brings up her grade in every subject.
Also extrinsic.
Yeah, extrinsic.
I'm so grateful that this is just a quick.
Yeah. These ones are
um,
nice.
yes,
I
they
know. I
are.
hate the ones that are like in 100 words or more.
Ugh.
That's my entire religion course right now. Sally loves the stickers her teacher puts on her paper when she gets every problem right.
Extrinsic. I don't know. I feel like they're pretty self-explanatory because it just says it in all of them that they're doing it for somebody else if it's extrinsic.
Mm-hmm. Deshi asks his science teacher if he can come in at lunch and dissect a fish because he loves biology.
Intrinsic.
Agreed. Susan is very shy and appears to be too timid to volunteer information in class. Every time Susan volunteers an answer to a question, you validate her thinking and thank her for her contribution. Soon you notice that she is volunteering more frequently. What is wrong, if anything, with the teacher's action in this scenario?
Um, I mean, you could say that it's not really like giving her any intrinsic reinforcement. She doesn't really like it's not really motivating her to care about it more. It's just validating her because she's like only giving a response to be validated by the teacher, not because she actually wants to know it.
I like that. So the teacher isn't really giving any intrinsic motivation for Susan. She is just validating her responses, which
Yeah.
provides extrinsic reinforcement. And it's like, is that wrong per se?
Yeah,
Um,
that's where I'm like, you could just make that argument. That doesn't necessarily mean that it matters, because like if
yeah,
she's learning, then the goal is still being met. So
I'm gonna say, but it's still a positive.
yeah.
All right. Discuss each of the following in terms of promoting student learning. Everyone who gets a 100 on the test will have an ice cream party. So I think what they want for this is like, I think A, intrinsic or extrinsic, and then B, the whole, is it positive? Oh, what was it? Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. Um, and then there's something else.
Oh, also with that last question,
Yeah,
was it about Susan, right?
yeah.
There's just if you go to like slide 31, it kind of tells you exactly why it was wrong.
Oh,
Oh.
lol, I swear I went through this.
You're good.
All right. If we're going to get Susan to participate in class, we need to make that participation comfortable and rewarding for her. It is clearly too uncomfortable for her to share in front of a whole group, so we might start by asking the class to share with a partner, making sure that Susan is paired with another person, um, and then ask to share their partner's good ideas and affirm her contribution. After Susan seems comfortable, we could move to small groups. After small groups, we could warn her in advance that we're going to ask her a question in front of the class. After she has become comfortable, we could begin to call on her randomly. Then she might start to volunteer. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, we got that wrong. Let me fix that. I'm gonna say like the teacher should be starting off smaller, like putting Susie or Susan in a partnership or small groups. Her small groups could validate her contributions until she gets continually more comfortable.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. I swear there was like, okay, I think it wants us to define all those scenarios as like positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. And then if it's positive, is it extrinsic or intrinsic?
Oh yeah. Okay.
They're all listed on slide 45, but like it doesn't really give me any more. Like just the stuff before it talks about like the 3 tiers of behavior prevention or whatever.
Okay.
So I couldn't, yeah, I was like trying to figure out how I would talk about those, but
All right.
I don't know if you guys got anything else from those slides, but I don't know.
I think we're just supposed to, I guess, and plus it's pretty straightforward, right? If you don't do as well as you want to, you may take the test over second score.
Have we answered 5A?
No, I'm just looking
Okay.
at all of
You're
them.
looking forward. Okay.
Yeah.
See, in my head, like 5A, I don't like that way, but I don't know if like that's the right answer. I just feel like it'll get some kids to like study good, but then it'll like punish some kids who really tried,
Right.
Right.
is my idea, but I still am not figuring out exactly what she wants us
Like,
to
how does
write.
it like promote student learning? I think what you said was great. So like first I said like this is positive reinforcement and extrinsic. It's like, however, it's pretty extreme, like getting 100 on the test.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it deals in extremes. Um, and it excludes anyone who doesn't like, get 100 but still try their best.
hmm But it's still like using positive reinforcement with extrinsic motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I would say if like 70% of the class gets a certain score, then the whole class,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. B, if you don't do as well as you wanted to, you may take the test over and I'll give you a second score. That, ooh, that's interesting. So that's intrinsic because it's up to you to
Mhm.
decide if you want a better score or not for yourself,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one is a lot easier than the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But is this positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement? Because like, are you taking away your bad grade or are you giving a good grade or is it both?
Yeah, I think it's just positive reinforcement because it's like giving them more opportunities.
Okay.
It might not promote student learning the best, only because then a lot of kids aren't going to try the first time.
Mm,
But like it is still a way of motivating.
yeah.
Okay, C. If you do not get the problems right on this assignment, you will have to stay in from recess and redo them until you do.
So that would be more of a negative reinforcement, right?
Yeah, extrinsic.
No. So negative reinforcement, sorry, I don't mean to, I came off so
Oh,
rude. Negative
no, it's
reinforcement is still a reward. So that's like if you have something, what is it? Like say for example, everybody's like sitting in assigned seats. Typically people don't like assigned seats. And you say, if you do this good, da 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 da, then you can have free seating, or I'll get rid of the assigned seat. So it's like you're getting rid of a negative,
okay.
if that makes sense. I want to see if there's like an example. I feel like the example that they gave just now would be a punishment.
Yeah.
But what kind of punishment? Because I saw that. Yeah, negative reinforcement, still a reward. Remember that all reinforcement strengthens a behavior. With people, that means that the subject finds the action pleasing and agreeable. Um, So I don't know what we would call this.
You could just say it's extrinsic reinforcement, just
Yeah.
because it's motivated. It's using the recess as a reward.
Right.
But I mean, that's like all I can really think of out of all the stuff from the slides that we could
And
use as an
then,
example.
yeah, agreed. And then how do you feel? Does it promote student learning?
Um,
I mean, right? I mean, like, how much do they care about recess?
A
Because then
lot.
that, right? Because that is a good enough motivation that it should promote student learning.
right. It also does like still do that thing, like it's like requiring perfection, which I feel like
Yeah.
isn't great.
Right.
At least I work in like a sped room and we are always are like, we do not require perfection. And then I feel like that one is just like, well, if you're not perfect, you're not gonna have recess. So
Right. Plus, like, I feel like recess, I'm not sure if like I would call it like just in a day-to-day life a reward. I feel like it's just part of the schedule.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I feel like, taking that away just for not getting some problems right. Like that's just showing them that like if you're not perfect, then you get punished, like you're saying.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these like follow all the rules, but like I would never use them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Another reason I want to work in high school. I don't have to deal with recess.
It's nice.
Um, Okay. C. The computer will give you a smiley face for every problem you get right and an explanation and more practice on the ones you miss. So be careful and get as many smiley faces as you can.
I mean, seems good.
Still extrinsic in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely extrinsic.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you want smiley faces and you don't want to have to redo the problems.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, they just texted me. Okay, I'm out of here.
That's all right. Thanks for joining and
Of
helping.
of course, I'll just do them on my own. You can probably just mark me as absent. I'll just
No, I'll
whatever.
say that you stayed for a lot of it. No problem.
Okay, cool.
Have a
I
good
will see you
night.
guys next week. Yeah, you too.
See
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
All right.
Sweet.
Keep it going. How do you feel about the scenario?
Is it the smiley face one?
Yeah, do you think that like promotes the learning?
Yeah, I think it could. Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Because it encourages them like to do their best.
Hmm. But if they don't, like they just get more explanation, like they just relearn it, which
Yeah.
is also really good.
So if they get something wrong, they get help with it. All right, 6. Sorry, it's like kind of tornado weather right now, so I'm like,
Really?
yeah, just a little bit. Not in
That
my,
is scary.
no, it's fine. That's what happens in springtime in the Midwest. But I there's not gonna be a tornado watch in my county, but there is in like a couple neighboring counties. Ugh, it's fine. Okay. All right. Most American schools incorporate behavioral theory to some extent in their administrative and classroom practices. In a paragraph of at least 100 words, reflect on the use of behaviorist theory in learning situations. How have you seen it used effectively?
Do you have to do 100 words for each of them or just all together?
I don't know.
I would say all together. I feel like that question is kind of confusing, and if she said anything, you know? So,
Yeah, this is rather confusing. Okay. How have we seen it used effectively? I feel like you see a lot being a para
mhm.
on like positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement.
Yes. I'm trying to think of like
No, you're
specific
good.
examples.
I am too.
Um, well, like we have like one where we do like an extrinsic, like if you guys get so many AR points, we'll have like a movie party. So we
Okay.
do that a lot. I don't know if that's so much behavior, but
We did something like a taxi con or what did we call it? Was it called a tax economy? Token economy. When I was a
oh,
para,
yes, like
where like
they get money, right?
yeah, we had like actual pennies and each one had like their own
Oh.
jar. Uh,
Okay, yeah. Like our kids, yeah, they have banks and then they get like paper money and then they have a store. So
yeah.
that definitely too.
All right, I'm not gonna type it out right now. I'll do it after we get
Oh,
off.
oh yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to sit here and do it. I'll do it later.
That's what I do every time. I type in like the
Really?
keywords and then I get off and I do it. But it's probably why it takes me so long. But
Fine. How have we seen it
uh,
abused? Hmm.
I feel like a lot of times, I don't know, when I see it abused, it's things like just like them taking away things that they shouldn't get to take away, you know?
Mhm.
Like when there's, I don't know, I've always hated the idea of taking away recess.
Me
I don't know
too.
why, but I know that like recess was initially put there for the kids' own health. And
Yes. So
so,
it's like that's not the thing you want to take away.
yeah, and my brother had ADHD and they kept him in from recess all the time. And I was like, that is the worst thing you could do for him.
Yeah, that's
Like,
horrible.
so that's kind of how I've seen it abused.
Like you want to make it worse, and here you go.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Um,
Um,
and I heard thunder.
what?
Oh, I went to go close the curtains because it's getting
Oh,
dark and I hear thunder.
that is so scary.
It's fine. I lived in Minnesota my whole life mostly, and then Kansas before going to Idaho,
Oh,
back in
okay.
Kansas. So like I should be used to it by now.
Oh
Oh
gosh,
God.
I've been in Idaho my whole life, so that's like
Oh
never been
really?
kind of a scare. Yeah.
My husband is from LA, and so they've got earthquakes, but he's never
Oh,
experienced any tornado weather. This might be his first time ever.
oh
But
my
I don't think
gosh.
it's
Yeah,
gonna get
that's
bad. Like there's only like a tornado watch until 1 a.m. and it's again not even in my county, so like it's fine.
oh, okay.
We're good. All right, sorry. Based on your discussion and examples, do you see it as effective in promoting learning and teaching proper behavior and citizenship? Is that a full sentence? Based on your discussion and examples, do you see it as effective in promoting learning, teaching proper
I think
behavior?
it's talking about behavior theory,
Yeah,
but I don't like how that was worded at all.
me neither. Do you think behavior theory like promotes learning, teaching? Oh, maybe they wanted commas. Learning, comma, teaching, comma, proper behavior, comma, and citizenship.
Oh, I feel like it does. Like if it's used correctly, it'll
Yeah.
help change kids' behavior. Like I think you need some sort of behavior theory. Yeah.
Agreed. All right, I'll type more on that when we leave. Identify at least 3 things you can all practice doing in the next week to help you improve your teamwork skills. I mean, I guess this is like the only time we haven't had like most people here.
Mhm.
I don't know, what can you and me do?
Um, um, I did like the PowerPoint reading, but I could have done better reading on like the actual chapter.
Yeah, more reading. I still like haven't watched all the videos in the
Mm,
PowerPoint. Watch all videos.
um,
Maybe use the chat more so like other people can type their experiences so I can just like copy and paste, or like whoever the host is can just like copy and paste.
oh yeah, I like that a lot.
Okay. I'm just not too concerned about this TOA. Like A, I think that we've got some pretty good answers. B,
Mhm.
I'll just expound on those 3 things and then we should be golden.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to move on to the project?
Yes. What was like just the one for this Saturday?
Yeah,
Or
because I
what
think
project?
it's still with the group, I think. I think
Oh,
so.
it is? Oh,
I think it says, I mean, I don't know if it actually has to be. Let me find the announcement. She said, yeah, she said, please remember that there are 2 team assignments that you need to complete this week, a presentation and a worksheet. The handout for the presentation can be found under the conditioning presentation link, and the worksheet is under the behaviorist activity link. If you are unable to attend your group meeting, please complete the assignments on your own and submit them.
okay. I
So I
did
think
read
it's
that. I just didn't even think it was about this worksheet. But yeah.
fine.
Oh my
And then,
goodness.
do you want to just take a quick look?
Yes.
Okay.
And then gets turned in by everyone, right?
Yes.
I wish she. Yeah.
Would you rather just do it on your own and then and we can just go, or
I'm fine with that too.
okay, I want to know what you want to do. Like, would you rather do it just you and me, or just kind of call it good, do it on our own?
I'm fine doing it on my own. I have something at 7, so
Oh,
but
okay.
I think
Yeah,
that
let's do
it
that
should
then.
be
Sounds like this
easy
week was
enough.
just not anybody's week.
No. It was a tough one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Okay.
if they're all doing it on their own, like we could do it too. It should it doesn't look too hard.
I don't
So
think so. It sounds like just the same kind of deal, just answering questions. And
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
if we could just like yeah, and we can utilize like the group chat too, because
Yes.
I feel like that would also work in place of the Zoom.
I have a question. Have you started like the whole field project thing that we've got?
Yes, I finished mine in week 8.
Okay, I've like started on it and everything, but I don't know how to turn it in. Like,
Oh,
where do you
okay.
turn it
Oh,
in?
you have to go to like week 2
Okay, I did see
and
that,
then
but I couldn't find like anywhere else except for going through all the links. And so I was like, is this like anywhere else? Is this for the right class? Like I was okay, but that is where you do it. And it says like no
yeah.
due date because everyone's got a different due date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I just went to week 2, clicked that link, and then turned it in on that thing. So
Okay, perfect. I saw that. I just wasn't sure. So thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, then I'll get this uploaded probably
Awesome.
tonight if I can. And
Oh, sweet.
yeah, I'll probably text the group chat if I've got questions as well. So,
Perfect.
okay, well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
No problem. I'll see you next time.
All right, see ya.
Good night.